Hey, so I'm David. I'm a junior at UC Berkeley, and for context, I'm going to be working at Stripes, which is a growth stage venture capital firm or growth equity firm in New York. They manage around $2 billion under management, and so I've worked with Sam for the last year throughout my recruiting processes, and have found him tremendously helpful. So I wanted to share any wisdom that I've gained throughout this process, and share some personal insights into why you should probably at least consider this decision, because I think it's a pretty positive one. So for starters, where I was in terms of recruiting, first of all, financial services recruiting is absolutely bonkers. It's so early. And sophomore spring, I had no idea where I wanted to go. I was interested in finance, but I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to pursue it for a long time career. And I think that's where Sam's help really came in. And I had a lot of these upperclassmen friends who were very willing to help, but to be quite honest, they were only a couple years older than me, and they maybe went through one recruiting process. But so it ended up kind of being blind leading the blind. But I got connected with Sam, and he's been through the ringer. He was working at Deutsche and Morgan Stanley, their technology group, which is one of the best investment banks across the U.S. And he also was working in private equity and being on both sides of the table, and recruiting for people and recruiting for himself. I think he gained a lot of perspective, and that was really important for me. So in terms of what he helped me with, I think for one, he helped me keep myself in check. It's really hard to keep up with studying, and just having a bunch of books, in my opinion, isn't super helpful. And in addition to that, it's a community. We call ourselves the Wolf Pack. I think for one, I shared a bunch of my investment banking questions and insights into the process with other people. Sam does as well, of course, but the community itself feeds on each other. And I think as it grows, of course, the power that comes with the larger network just compounds upon itself. In addition to that, I think Sam provided a lot of guidance and clarity when I was really struggling between some decisions. So I think a common question is it good to go to the buy side first, or should I go into investment banking, or should I even consider a different career altogether? I think Sam, having been through all sorts of those steps in the processes, he was able to really map out my trajectory potentially, depending on what decision I made, how many doors it opened or kept open, and compared it even with the friends that he had who made similar decisions in the past. So I think his pattern recognition really developed over the number of years was incomparable to mine or the friends I've had. And in addition to that, he's someone who is really on your side for this thing. So, I mean, it's his job, right, to help you out. And I think given all the craziness nowadays, it's good to have at least one person behind you. So I think for the support, the guidance, the personal help, I think all the facets of Sam's program I found really helpful. And so I mean, that's why I'm advocating for him now. So I think that if you're interested in finance, and you think, and you think it is potentially something that you want to pursue in the future, then I think it's worth at least talking to Sam. And if you have a strong belief or feel comfortable with him, then you should just go for it, because after a certain point, it just pays off within the first year, maybe even first month. So, I mean, why not give it a try to increase your professional success in the long run? The earlier these decisions that you make, the more important they become. So I think I don't regret at all choosing to side with Sam, and I'm really honestly happy with where I am ending up. And even now, I mean, we're talking, and I've been asking him for advice, and he's been connecting me with other alumni in his network. So I think every step of the way, even after the processes, he's been helpful. So I would 100% advocate for you to at least consider his program, and feel free to reach out to me if you want more personal advice. I'm happy to chat. But best of luck throughout your recruiting processes, and I hope you make the right decision.